Afternoon. Just me then, lunch. Relax, it's fine. It's what could possibly go wrong. I'm sure that Matthias and the entire Volvo EV development team are delighted to know that Tony used to use the transistor box on his tram to keep fish and chips warm. Perfectly safe. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sure he's equally impressed that I, and I won't be the only one in this room, used to test the power of 9-volt battery with my tongue. Everyone's got to have done that in the past, haven't they? Perfectly safe, 9 volts. It's the amps that kill you. It's not the volts, it's the amps that do it. So I'm Jeff Counsell. It's a privilege to be with the Warrington team, working as their EV director and finally seeing through to the end the delivery of their EV bus project. But I'm not actually going to talk to you about EV buses. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Dave. We'll come back to that. We'll do that in the round. I guess as Ben's paying me to do it, I should talk about it a little bit. But to me, this industry isn't about, it is about products, it is about buses. And I'm going to show some pictures of some orange and brown buses as well, just for you, TG. Fantastic. One from Bolton. Brilliant, just for you. This industry is about people, so that's why it's a people thing. And it is about our customers, of course. We should be customer focused, customer driven. The product's got to be right. If the product isn't right, then people won't be attracted to it. But if it isn't delivered well, you've not got a cat in hell's chance of attracting people onto public transport. And the most important people in this room, out of this room, are actually the people that deliver our services frontline, day in, day out. I've said that for years. I've somehow survived 50 years in this industry. And somehow I've not discovered what I do, I don't think yet. But for me, it is an absolute given that it's the people on the front line that give up their time, they work on social hours, delivering services, as I say, on the road, the guys in the workshops, the technicians, keeping the products fit, well, safe, compliant. They're the most important people to me, and we should reflect that in our business models. Customers and our own staff in equal measure. Of course, we need them both, but yeah, you can't deliver bus services or any service without people. So what I wanted to do today is just share some of my experiences, if you will, or through my experiences, some of the things that sort of shaped me, but I think in all of us, they probably shape all of us in one way or another. So I've delved a little bit into a little bit of personal history that we'll sort of, I can sort of tap into and reflect those things. So we'll have a look at that as I go through. When, again, just a bit of fabric. I was not academic at school at all, just wasn't interested. And in the early 70s, when I was at secondary school, the way that the education system dealt with you is your form master would say, Counsell, you're a bell end, get out. And that was it. Great, fantastic. So off you went. No, of course, they can't do that now, which is good. So I was really switched. I did the bare minimum. I did okay, but I did the bare minimum just to get through. And what I wanted to do when I left school was join the army. I wanted to join the REME, particularly, because I did have an interest in mechanics, mechanical things. I always used to help my dad, watch my dad mend the company car, the family car. And I wanted to join the REME because I thought you can mend trucks, you can build bridges, and you can shoot at people. Well, what could go wrong with that? I thought, thankfully my parents saw a different side, and they said, you're not going into the army, you're going to get yourself a proper job. Sorry for anyone in the armed forces. So I ended up joining the local bus company. So LUT, Lancashire United Transport, 1974. Long time ago now. Bloody hell. So in this July, we'll celebrate, actually now, thanks to Ben and the Warrington team, 50 years in the bus industry. And it's been a fantastic industry, I have to say. So some of the people that really started to knock me into some sort of shape, I was now doing something that I was interested in. So academically, I started to actually shine as well at college. I really enjoyed what I was doing, but some people who really helped me get there and supported me during those early days and helped form me, if you like, when I was there. I need to mention, in the audience here, we've got Dave Longmate, who's Transport Manager Operations for Warrington's own buses. Now, to tell you how small a village this industry is, I started off in Atherton, just 12 miles west of Warrington, at LUT, and there was a guy there called Les Longmate, who's Dave's uncle, and I was Les's apprentice. And within a few days, I asked Dave, because of his voice and his manner, he just reminded me of Les, and I thought Longmate can't be a common name. So I said to him, are you one of the Hindley Longmates? I am. Aye, yeah. Do you know Les? Aye, he's my uncle. Aye. And Bill, he's my uncle. Aye. Bloody hell, right. So I said I was Les's apprentice. Les knocked the shit out of me. He did. Because I was, 16, 17, you're cocky. You're a bit cheeky, well, very cheeky, I'm still cheeky. So I was cocky, cheeky, and Les really did sort of knock me into shape. And you didn't argue with Les, he's a big bloke, isn't he? Yeah, he's as broad as he is tall. So yeah, I owe a lot to Les and people like Les, who really started to he taught me humility, did Les. I didn't realise I didn't know what humility was then, if I'm honest. But looking back, he did. He taught me when it's right to say things, what's right to say, in his own way, as he does. I can't tell you the exact words because it's a mixed audience and it's pre-Watershed and all that. But Les was very, very formative, I have to say, and he was a brilliant fitter. I learned a lot from Les, technically as well. So that was, I think, the start of me developing into something that I wanted to do and wanted to be. So he influenced and helped to start shape me the way that I am, as I think. And we've all experienced similar things, I'm absolutely sure. So time moved on, completed my apprenticeship, really enjoyed it, and I was working at Atherton as a fitter, Atherton Depot as a fitter. A foreman called David Brown, no one will know him here, I'm sure. But he was another guy that really did teach me a lot. He taught me the value of treating people with respect and as individuals. 20-year-old, I used to play lots and lots of football. I used to drink lots and lots of beer as well. So I would be down on the list to work on a Sunday morning as overtime, typically. I'd go out on a Saturday, play football. I used to play in the Bolton combination, then the Manchester League. So some of the away games were quite a distant. I'd leave home at 9 o'clock in the morning and I'd get home about 1 o'clock at night, just from the game. Parents would say, "Have you bloody been playing football?" Yeah, I have, yeah. Go to bed, 8 o'clock in the morning, you could hear the phone ring downstairs. I'm steaming in bed. My mum would come up, bang on the door. Bloke called David Brown on the phone for you. Oh, Christ, I should be in work. Right. So I get on the phone. She says, he says, "Are you coming to work?" Yeah, tell him I'm on my way. I'm on my way. So I'd get up, get dressed, get off to work, only to find that he'd clocked me on. He knew once I was saying I was coming, he'd clocked me on. I would do anything to David. I would stay as late as it needed to. I'd work through the lunches, breaks, or wherever, because he treated you like an individual and valued you as an individual as well. And he did everyone, not just me, but everyone. So, again, someone else that influenced me to say, it is horses for courses, but treat people with respect and value them, because you'll get the best out of them. So time moves on. Because of various local government acts, I was going to go through the 1968 Transport Act in detail, but I thought you'd be bored with that. Not to be confused with the 1969 Transport London Act, which is very different. Time moved on, local government reorganisation. Lancashire United Transport became part of Greater Manchester Transport. It was actually the PTE, Passenger Transport Executive. So a throwback there to 1976, when all that sort of came together. And some people there, a guy called Ian Wilson I came across, who was the training manager for GMPTE, GMT at the time. And again, he's someone that I owe a great deal of respect to, and I owe a lot to in terms of development. Again, it was, I'd say I was interested in what I was doing. I was doing well at college for once. And I was fortunate to really get into GMT at the time, because it was a massive organisation. I think 2,500 buses at the time, something like that. But it was huge. It covered 4 areas of Greater Manchester. But it was Ian that actually started to push me into general management, by challenging me and saying, well, what do you want to do next? Because I did sort of engineering degree, IMI, all your city and guilds. And he pushed me into management studies, because I said, well, I'd like to do a chartered engineer degree. He said, what do you want to do that for? Oh, fair point. Okay. He said, I think you'd be talking to you. You'd be much better going down the general management path. So, yeah, I owe a lot to Ian for his support, which, pushed me into supervisory roles and then management roles, foreman roles. And again, through all that experience, it's about the people you work with and the people that you bring along and the people that push you along as well. So that was a massive, massive experience and learning curve. And within the PT, I'd gone from a very small organisation into a huge one, and the career opportunities just opened up. If you were willing to travel, I went for an interview as a vehicle inspector, which I got. Again, I was 21, 22. And I remember going for the interview at Devonshire Street, Manchester, personnel officer. I'd never been there before, personnel officer. And the job was just advertised, vehicle examiner, West area. So I know the West area, I live in the West area. So I went through the sort of interview, and at the end they said, have you got any questions for us? I said, yeah, you haven't said where the job's based. They said, oh, right, yeah, it's based at Weast. I said, oh, right, okay. Are there any other questions? Where's Weast? No idea. So Weast is between Eccles and Manchester for anyone of any interest. But I was prepared to go, and again, with that, it just pushed things along. And again, I got some great experiences there. Moving on, told you, orange and brown buses. The 1986 deregulation Act forced the Passenger Transport Executive to divest itself of the operating interest. So GM Buses was formed. There's a Wigan bus with the green denoting the West area. Fantastic marketing livery. That wasn't intuitive. I think the East had yellow, didn't it? I think something like that. So yeah, I went into GM Buses, and that again, I just sort of, again with the support and help of others and the support of people around me, I became a foreman, then a district engineer, and eventually I became the fantastic. Look at that! Woo, brilliant! That's a Bolton bus, isn't it? Is it? No, it's not. Yeah, went into GM North, GM Buses North. And I became chief engineer of GM Buses North when that was split. The North and South operating companies were split in half. Good times and bad times. Good times because, again, working with a fantastic crew of people. I think there's around 1,000 buses that time we started with. But really, really good support, upwards and downwards. Again, feeding off, the people and the support that came along with us and with you. It was part of a management employee buyout, which became a disaster, really. I think we in very short terms, we paid a lot more money for GM Buses North than we should have done. It was because we actually weren't the preferred bidders, and we ended up with a second bite at the cherry, and we brought in venture capitalists. Oh, bane of my life. So we brought in VCs to provide additional financial support to purchase GM North from the PT and the PTA at the time. So good times to start with. The second half of that, in my terms, were very, very, very challenging. The VCs who came to us with a 5-year exit strategy said they wanted to exit in 2. So everything became accelerated. There was a lot of change needed, a lot of things we had to do. And for me, it was about making sure we brought everyone with us, everyone that you'd worked with, everyone that had supported you before. And I became really, really disenchanted, disenfranchised with the VCs, particularly because they were just forcing things through that just were not right. Not proper consultation, not bringing people with. They didn't care about people. They cared about profits and returns and how fast they could get their money out of the business and more. And I think within 18 months, we'd gone from having barely any employment tribunals. I think in the second year of their tenancy, we had 62 employment tribunals. 62. What a drain of resource and time and effort on all parts. A lot of which were totally unnecessary, but they just saw they saw people as a cost, not as an asset. So I very quickly fell out with them. Fortunately, just before they did exit, I was offered a job at a company called North East Bus. I can't find a logo for North East Bus anyway. It's like it's disappeared, it's vanished from the face of the earth. Probably a good reason for that. North East Bus was what was left of United Automobile Services, Trimdon Motor Services and Teesside Motor Services in the North East of England, as it says. So Darlington out to the coast and up to, into Newcastle and out to Durham. I learned a lot at North East Bus. The MD there was, I went there as engineering director, sorry I should say. The managing director there was a guy that not many people will know. Hands up if you do, because I'll give you a tenner if you do. There's a guy called Mike Widmer. Don't put your hand up, Bill. I'm not giving you a tenner. So it was a guy called Mike Widmer. Not really that well known in the industry. But I learned two great things from, well, a few good things from Mike. One of them was how to buy a gang mower, a chain mower. So I bought that for him because he had a paddock. He had greyhounds. He raised greyhounds, did Mike. So he lived in this house with a 6-acre paddock. So he said, knocked on office door one day. He said, "What are you doing today?" I said, "I've got some paperwork to catch up with. Come with me. We're buying a tractor." "All right, okay, right." So we went and I don't know anything about tractors, Mike. Went and bought a tractor. And then he said, "Oh, there's a chain mower as well, a gang mower. I want to buy it. It's at a farm somewhere up in the Teesdale Moors somewhere." So I went up there in his mower, suited, got out. I've told some people this, so apologies if I'm repeating it. Got out of his black mower, both got suits on, as I say, in this farm, middle of Teesdale Moors. No one's around, but there's lots of machinery, plant and equipment around. So we go and knock on the farm door, nothing, but it's ajar, sort of thing, so we know someone's there. And we're shouting, sort of thing, "Hello, anybody there?" Nothing at all. Next thing, two bloody great Alsatians came from out the back of the house. I couldn't get in. I tell you what, I ran to that to that Merc to get in as fast as I could. Luckily, it just pinned us. It wouldn't just let us move. It just stopped us there. And a guy came out of the one of the barns, and "Who are you?" And Mike said, "I'm Mike Widmer. I've been on the phone about this gang mower." "Bloody hell," he said, "thank God for that." He didn't say thank God. "Thank God for that." He said, "I thought you were the VAT." As he didn't say that anyway, yeah. But Mike taught me a lot of things. His background was finance, but I didn't hold that against him, Dave. He was okay, like you. So he taught me actually. I knew my way around a P&L, but actually Mike taught me a lot more about finance and understanding finance and the stuff behind it. So that was filled that sort of gap, as it were. But more importantly for me, in the time that I worked for Mike, he taught me that work, as in life, should be fun. You should have a good time, and everyone around you, not just you, but everyone around you, should make it fun for everybody. It should be a good place to work. People should enjoy coming to work. They should be happy coming to work. We all have bad days. We're not all, smiles and working at Tesco's or whatever. But we should be very, very happy. One of the other things I did learn from Mike is how to fix a greyhound race as well. So anyone interested in, if you want to get some greyhounds, how to fix and lower or raise the handicaps, I've got that bagged for you. I don't think it's legal, so I'm not going to tell you now, but That was another good thing I did learn from him as well. He also taught me that a Mercedes-Benz E250 estate can be driven off-road in the York Moors in snow and ice. I didn't know that. And so, Mike. So some really, really good years. Not long enough for me, because it was a very happy time of my life. The people that I worked with, again, you know, very engaging. The culture there was brilliant. It was definitely, we are a team. We are as one. I mean, that was everybody, you know, top to bottom. And that was generally a bottom-up organisation as well. So a lot of the ideas for development, creation, North East Bus were doing before I went to Trent Barton. So it was really, really very good and good experience. And then in 1999, I joined Trent Barton, joined as engineering director. Almost, after 4 years at North East Bus. Trent Barton, what can I say? Well, it was Trent Buses when I joined as engineering director. There were Trent Buses, Barton Buses, Kinch Bus just bought. And then we formed Trent Barton, I think it's 2003, Scarlett, I'm looking at, thank you. We joined the names together to form the trading name Trent Barton, because it is one network, blah, 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 blah. But Trent Barton is, and still is, and rightly so highly regarded as being very customer focused and very people oriented as well. And it was a privilege to be there for nearly over 24 years, but the last 14 years as managing director. Really good team. I think doing more and more about the people as well, not just customers, because it's easy to focus more on customers and forget the value of your people. I think Virgin have the opposite to that. They concentrate on their people and say, if your people are happy, they're going to make your customers happy. It's a great philosophy, and I think a good example to follow. So, 24 good years at East Midlands at Trent Barton. And it was very much, I learned a lot from the then MD and commercial director, the co-owners who still co-own the business and have done since 1986, Brian King and Ian Morgan. They were very, very, very good leaders, very, very good teachers, very, very supportive, and encouraged everyone to be involved. And just let you get on with the job. And from that, we had great team spirit, great team development. It's no coincidence they've just won again. Congratulations, high score for customer satisfaction for drivers, because it is about the drivers. It's about that team. It really is first and foremost. You don't have a business without the frontline team. So well done on that. I'll say this is a people business. First thing that Scarlett said to me yesterday, I've not seen her for a while. 14 years as MD. Can you bring your dog back to the office? Don't miss me. This is my dog. I'll bring him to see you. Really, really good, but a people-focused business. When I say people, employee-focused business as well. So we move forward. I'm going to talk a little bit about EVs now. See, here's a courtesy of Andy Rigby, thank you. I should do your copyrights for this, didn't I? I didn't write it on, but there you go. Copyright Andy Rigby. So I retired last February 23 from Trent Barton. Looking forward to walking the dog, pegging the washing out, catching up on the list of jobs that Alison, my wife, had left me, that I just keep putting down. Should I watch Homes Under the Hammer today? Bargain hunt or mow the grass? Go on then, bargain hunt. Or escape to the country, where a 30-year-old couple from London are retiring. They're selling the one-bedroom bedsit for £250,000, and they're moving into a mansion in Tarpley. It's fantastic, brilliant. I soon got fed up of that. So what's all that got to do with the electric bus project? And it is by far the largest single project I've ever worked on. I mean, and I've worked on some large development projects. I think at Trent Barton, the biggest sort of investment program, development program we delivered in 1 year was 40 buses, 45, and that was huge at the time. It takes a lot of effort to get it right and to do it right. So this, in terms of scale, is huge. To replace the entire fleet in one go is a huge, huge project, and a fantastic project, I have to say. And that is really what appealed. My role in simple terms is bringing together energisation of the depot and delivery of the buses, simple terms, with a team. Obviously, you can't do that on your own. It's impossible. Finalisation of some of the detailed vehicle specs, 72 single decks, 33 double decks, overseeing their delivery, overseeing the exit of the diesel fleet as well, training, familiarisation, technicians, drivers, coordinating the 70 plus key stages of just the depot infrastructure, which has been a challenge for us, hasn't it, at times, but we're there. EV driver training, technician training, ensuring operating compliance, most of all making sure that while we've got people on site digging up the already pre-prepared tranches to put the chargers in, we still run buses. We've still got to deliver. Katie's still got to deliver a bus service every day, and Carl. So it's making sure that doesn't interfere with daily operations. And that is a real jigsaw and a sort of mishmash to organise. Can't do that on your own. It's impossible. So I went to Warrington. Why would I do that on such a short? It's a project that's always captured my imagination from an insider in the industry. You know, I thought that winning that bid on that scale for Warrington when I was at Trent Barton was fantastic. I thought it was really good. So I've always sort of been looking at it and waiting for the next development because I'm interested in any event. I would be the electrification of the entire fleet. It's a huge project, and I was watching at it from the outside. I got a phone call one day, having come back from a walk with the dog, from Ben. I thought at first he's misdialed me, or he's pocket dialed me, or he doesn't know I'm retired. Or, fortunately, I like Ben. It's about people, isn't it? And I knew Ben before I was at Warrington. We'd never been on holiday together, anything like that. But we'd met each other at industry events, conferences, etc. And I'd always, thought a lot about Ben. One of the bright young manager of the year, 1932. So I answered the phone, and Ben sort of taught me about joining the team, this opportunity as EV director. Now the project's coming together, so would I like to be a part of it? Yeah. I didn't rush into things, as you don't. As it happened, I was going to the Northwest the next day. So we met up, had a coffee, spoke a little bit more about it. I had a few days to think about it. I didn't need much time to think about it, to be honest. To join Warrington, to help deliver this project, absolutely no-brainer. Yeah, I was in. What was I going to do in winter anyway? Can't walk the dog in the rain that much. Can't take washing out. And there's all that list of jobs my wife left with me. They can wait. They're all right. Yeah. So yeah, I was signed up, as it were, because I'm interested, and it's a person that I like and I've respected. So had it been some others in the industry, I'd have just pressed no. The phone would have gone off. Got to answer phone. But no, I didn't. And I've got to say, when I went first day in the office, early experience, never been to Warrington's own buses before, Warrington Borough Transport before, didn't know anybody. But the way that the team makes you feel welcome is absolutely super. I felt at home within a day. It's incredible, it really is. It's so comfortable, so welcoming. And I want to thank the team for that, the leadership team, the entire office team, the guys that I see, the drivers popping in and out. Don't spend as much time out, obviously, because that's not my job. If I was at Trent Barton, I'd be out and about on the network, talking, having a cup of tea in the canteen, but there's lots of work to do. But the guys I do come across, talk to, within the depot area, and when I'm out and about are really engaged. And I think there's a good feeling there of people wanting this to be a huge success. It's a game changer for Warrington. It's a great team at Warrington, and by the end of this year we'll have 105 electric vehicles on the road, all being charged. We might still have some diesel buses left, but I'm working on that, Dave. That'll be off-site or somewhere. But yeah, hopefully we'll have we've got shot of most of them as well. So yeah, we're nothing without our people. And again, frontline team, frontline staff are the most critical people in this industry. We shouldn't forget that, because I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for a fantastic team behind me for 50 years. And I'm sure it's the same for most of you in the room. So that's it from me. I'll be glad to know. Lunch is next. Thank you.
And I think the message that's come across there loud and clear, whilst in 2024 we wouldn't advocate supervisors battering the rough edges off apprentices, what you've come across over the years in the industry is the managers, the supervisors who you've respected and remembered are those who earned respect but also showed humanity, empathy and all the other qualities. And a lot of that you can't learn on a course, it's within the person themselves.
Absolutely, yeah. There's there's one guy I remember again as an apprentice. There's no substitute for experience, and I think that's a pretty good phrase in terms. It's how you then share that experience, which for me, has brought a lot of value.
Okay, well, Jeff, thanks very much indeed, and best of luck with continuing on the project at Warrington's Own.